The today's topic is color changing technology in foundry coatings for the molding and the core making. First of all, we all are going through a very difficult situation, the COVID situation, what we all are facing, and let us pray for the loved ones we have lost during this pandemic. And we all hope to have a normal life very soon. And we pray to the God that normalcy is attained as soon as possible. Well, coming to the today's topic, as you have already said, Mr. Kulkarni, importance of a foundry coating on a casting surface finish. It is very important for a foundryman to choose the right coating to achieve the right surface finish for the casting the foundryman is trying to make. And mold and core coatings play a very important role in case of casting surface finish. But it's not that the coating will only play the important role. We should have a good facing sand with the right parameters within control and good backing sand. And when we consider that all these factors are being taken care by the foundryman while making the casting, then coating definitely plays a very important role. Why we need to switch over to water-based coatings? This is very important. During the last 2-3 decades, foundries have switched over from the conventional sodium silicate process to the modern resin sand systems. But in most of the foundries, people are still using solvent-based or the alcohol-based coatings with the sodium silicate-based sand systems. And so many times they are using water-based coatings for the resin sand system. But if the foundryman starts using the solvent-based coatings with the resin sand systems, there are different types of problems normally a foundryman can face. See, the problem is when you try to ignite the solvent-based coating, the heat generated is so high during the solvent burning that the surface bonding of the sand particles become weak due to heat generated by the solvent burning. And this heat is sufficient to weaken the particle bond. And when the metal enters, liquid metal enters the mold, the surface sand particles, they try to erode and they try to move away from each other. And there are so many times sand inclusions or the rough sand surface finish what we get in the cast. And that is the reason a foundryman needs to switch over to water-based coatings whenever they are having the modern resin sand systems. Now, conventional water-based coatings, as we all know, the conventional water-based coatings are white in color. If they are zircon-based coatings or aluminosilicate coatings, they are in certain color by different suppliers. The biggest challenge in front of the foundryman is when these water-based coatings are used, how to ensure that these coatings are drying or the total moisture removal is there from the coating. Because see, whenever you are using aluminosilicate based coatings, particularly for the automobile castings, approximate on an average water concentration in the coating is almost 50%. While in case of heavy zircon based coatings, like for the heavy castings, the water percentage is almost 30 or 28%. Now to ensure that this 28-30% water from the zircon coatings or around 50% water from the aluminosilicate based coatings is fully removed and there is no trace of the moisture on the coating surface, it is very difficult for the foundry. Because in case of heavy steel castings or heavy AGRN castings, whenever you are using zircon coatings, the only process normally used by the foundryman is a torch drying, that is LPG gas torch drying. Or so many times, most of the foundrymen take advantage of the weather conditions and they leave the molds and the cores for air dry, which in my opinion should not be done. It is always better to torch the mold and the core. And the time it takes while torching or drying these coatings is the only reason foundrymen are having reluctance in using these coatings, that is water-based coatings. And most of the time, when using a resin sand systems, foundryman wants to use a solvent-based coating because immediately after application, the coating is ignited and the mold is ready for pouring. But there are different disadvantages associated with the solvent-based coatings. Another thing is the coating thickness achieved in water-based coatings is very high, which you can achieve and avoid multiple coats. And that is the reason, in my opinion, the foundryman should switch over to water-based coatings, particularly for the resin sand system. That is what we call as no-mix sand systems. When you are having resin like phenolic acid cured, alpha set, or cold box resins. And the challenge, as I already told you, is visual confirmation of drying. So in case of white coatings or any other colored coatings, the color after drying remains the same and there is no visual confirmation for the foundryman to understand whether the coating has dried or not. And they try to dry it with the help of a torch or use different methods like industrial ovens to dry the pores. As I told you, complete dehydration of the coating, drying on parameters working efficiently or not is one of the biggest challenge. Above process is critical as wet coatings result into serious casting defects like scabbing, metal penetration, blowholes, and surface porosity. And at such time, these color change coatings play a major role, which ensures or give a visual confirmation for the foundryman to understand whether the coating has really dried or not. We also call these coatings like smart coatings because today we are in an era of smart appliances like smartphones, where the smartphones have already replaced the conventional mobile phones. So these smart coatings are solutions to these casting defects and latest technology based color changing refractory coatings. And there are two types of coatings, particularly for most of the sand systems. Means if you consider coating which is pink in color, which will dry to yellow, or the second coating which is purple in color, which will dry to yellow. It will cover almost most of the resin sand systems like your phenolic acid cured, alpha set, cold box resin systems. So foundryman needs a visual confirmation of complete drying of the coating to eliminate all moisture related defects. If there is moisture, as you can understand, you can have blowholes or fine pin porosity. To identify poor sand compaction in a core or mold, as there will be, it will absorb moisture to optimize on cost of drying, avoid overheating by torch, avoid over dilution of the coating as color of the coating will fade. Mr. Kulkarni, there is a problem. I am on now UPS and there is a power failure. I don't know how long it will continue.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So avoid over dilution of the coating as color of coating will fade. A coating will take more time. I will show this particular video from one of the foundry. The coating is 444 XLCC. The coating is purple in color. And in this video, you can see the drying is done with the help of a torch. and the coating is changing its color from yellow to purple to yellow. Now, if you see, there is a flame size. If you see the flame size of the torch is too much. Here, the foundryman can have a saving of the LPG gas, and the overheating of the coating can be avoided. So the coating has fully dried. It has changed from purple to yellow, and there is no need for the foundryman or the applicator to over torch or over gas the coating, because the biggest advantage of these color changing coatings is you can save up to 40% of the energy, whether you are having a LPG gas torch for the drying or you are using an industrial oven for the drying process. Now, we have seen that the latest trend, few of the reputed coating manufacturers have introduced powder coatings. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes. So the foundry coating technology has gone few decades back. If you see around 3 decades back, means almost 30 years ago, the foundries were using the powder coatings. They used to mix the water in the powder, or that time the solvent-based coatings were more popular. So the solvent was being used by the foundrymen, and they used to use the coating for the foundries. But after that, the foundry chemical manufacturers have come out with the ready for use coatings, that is what we call it as the RFU coatings. But today, the foundries are facing the problem of competition, the costing, and the solution come out or given by the foundry coating manufacturers is again the powder coatings. So the powder coatings are being used by the foundry, and the ready for use coating is prepared in the foundry itself by using certain equipments. And ready for use coatings were not in picture earlier, but now the ready for use coatings are there, and the foundryman is also having the powder coatings. Now it is for the foundryman to decide which type of coating will be suitable for them to use. Powder coating advantage is foundries are trying to save cost on packaging, transportation, and wastage. Today, packaging almost plays 4 to 5% of the cost, or even more than that per kg. Transportation itself is very high for the coating transportation if you are using RFU coatings. And another is wastage. And considering all these factors, it is really useful for the foundry to use a ready for powder coatings. But there are certain drawbacks associated with these powder coatings. The disadvantages are easy to make coatings for a Bombay of 40 to 70 degree Bombay, not more than that. 40 Bombay, mostly the automobile castings, foundries, they make they use aluminosilicate based coatings. They get basically a thick coating and then they dilute it to around Bombay of around 35 to 40, and then they use for the cores and the molds. For the HGRN and the steel castings, the 70 Bombay may not be sufficient, particularly where the section thicknesses are high, where the steel castings are being produced by the foundries. Because normally in such type of foundries, the Bombay of around 90 is more advisable. And to prepare a coating of 90 Bombay needs special efforts, which so many times becomes very difficult at the foundry level. But still, we have come out with the solutions, and we have come out with color changing powder coatings also, which we will show it to you. Powder coatings, as I already told you, good for automobile casting producing foundries, not recommended for steel castings or making very heavy castings, where coating parameters required are of Bombay in the range of 80 to 95. Because if you are producing a coating by using powder coatings around 70 Bombay, then you will have to have multiple coats. And that is not advisable. It's better to have a 90, 95 Bombay and have a good coating thickness. Uh, we have come out with a Swift Coat 100cc. Swift coat means it is basically a coating which is made very swiftly by the founder, and the Bombay achieved is around 90 Bombay. And I will show you this particular video. In this, you need to take some special efforts, and we have kept the vessel open just so that you can understand the manufacturing process. Yeah. So you have seen how these powder coatings can be prepared, particularly for a thicker Bombay of around 90 or even up to from 40 to 70 also you can prepare the same way. So you can have for the steel foundry Safe Coat 100 cc, which will have a Bombay of around 90. The coating will be either pink to yellow or purple to yellow. Pink to yellow coating will be suitable for the alpha set sand system. Okay. You can have for the resin coated sand system or even for the cold box sand systems. Purple to yellow will be suitable for the phenol sand system and it will be for the phenolic acid clear sand systems. Swift coat 140 cc, it will be pink to yellow for suitable for the automobile castings. The coating, powder coatings, if you are using or trying to prepare in your own foundry, then you can prepare for the Bombay of around 35 to 40 very easily, no problem. 461 cc again for the auto will be again pink to yellow. You can prepare Swift coat 140 cc or 461 cc for your automobile casting course and will be suitable for the dipping applications. Similarly, the Swift coat 50 GW will be a graphite based coatings for the gray iron castings and you can have a Bombay of around 60 or around 55 to 60 Bombay. It will be again a water based coating. If you are using RFE coatings, then we are having the RFE coatings, which will have a Bombay of around 90 in case of steel foundry, zircon based coatings. And for the automobile castings, you will have actually thick base of the aluminum silicate based coatings, where the dilution, depending on the foundry, has to be done maybe around 25 to 30% or even 35%. Water addition has to be done in the aluminum silicate based coatings. And then you can dilute it to around 40 Bombay and then you can use it. This is very special coating application by gravity in case of mill liners. Mill liners, as we all know, are basically very critical castings made by a few foundries. And here, the cores actually, which are not very high in diameters, but they are slightly lengthy, maybe around 300 or 400 millimeters in length. And the total volume of metal around these cores is so high that these things are very most of the foundries face and it becomes very to clean the side board. So in these cores, major role in a sense that the you are not able to the coating becomes very important. Mentioned is 1300 microns. It is very high. The pouring is done by gravity on these cores, and then the pouring is done when keeping the core in a horizontal position this way so that the coating is falling on this cores and then they are keeping it in vertical position so that the excess coating just flows down. The coating which is falling down during the process is collected at the bottom tank and then it is recycled. The Bombay here for these coatings is around 80 to 85, which is very high, but this is required because the dry film thickness you want to achieve is 600 to 700 microns. And it becomes very easy for the foundryman to achieve a clean bore. You can see in this particular photograph from one of the foundry, the bolt hole which is near the figure 2 is near to the ingate and in the second case it is 100 millimeter to the ingate. So the inside finish of the casting is very good and no extra rework is required in such cases. So here The coating parameters, particularly the color changing parameter of the coating or the feature of the coating is very important. After drying, the cores are kept inside the oven at 90 degrees because normally the foundries are producing n number of cores and they are keeping it and storing it at a temperature of around 90 degrees so that they can be used again whenever it is ready. That's all in short from my side because the time limit was there and I wanted you to have basically a feel of the color changing phenomena of these coatings. As Mr. Kulkarni has new properties. So, friends, these coatings were introduced in the Indian market for this. The paper was presented and then the field trials were started. We had a lot of resistance from the Indian foundries to accept this particular phenomena. But let me tell you, during the last 1 decade, lot many foundries have accepted it and they have used it satisfactorily and successfully, and they have been able to achieve whatever cost benefits these coatings are having. Thank you from my side.
Thank you,
Over
sir.
to you,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Kulkarni.
much. And I think you are very well in time because only 5 minutes left right now. So I think it's a nice presentation. You're given idea about what is actually a code color changing technology and how it is important and how it works. Actually, the videos are very self-explanatory. So it's a nice presentation from your side. I think if
Thank
any
you.
questions are there, members can ask on group as well. The most of the participants are in on the group, so you can ask it on the group itself so that you will get better clarity from the Sharmaji. He's also available on the group, so we can interact with him personally as well if required. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your time and nice presentation. And I hope you all are taking care in this particular pandemic situation and keeping yourself and your family members safe and healthy. So with that, I close this webinar. Thank you very much once again, sir, for your time and nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.